Good morning and happy Wednesday. I hope you're well. Welcome to another episode of the Divorce Mindset. I'm your host, Camilla Calberg. I'm the founder of Calberg Coaching and I'm a transformational coach. This episode of Divorce Mindset is brought to you by Calberg Coaching, where we help executives like yourself thrive and create a better life before, during, and after divorce. And before I delve into today's topic, which is very important, we're going to talk about. Oh, I'm going to see that actually. I've put a different note on LinkedIn. Anyway, we're going to run anyway. I just want to do an announcement that I do have a few spaces, seats open for laser coaching, and I do have a few seats open also for one-on-one coaching. I don't have so many one-on-one coaching offerings this year. So you want to have a deep dive on where you are right now and how I can help you and see whether we are the right match. Send me a mail or drop me a note. But Calberg Camilla at calbergcoaching.com. I'm so happy to support you and create a better life. If I can do it, you can too. All right. With that announcement, let's dive into today's topic, which is about how to find your lawyer. And I would say why you should get a lawyer on board. If you go through a divorce and you think, all right, I'm going into a high conflict divorce case. I didn't even know I was going into a high conflict divorce case, but my seventh sense, my inner voice told me very, very clearly and very loudly, very firm, get a lawyer on board. And it was an investment I've been so happy about. I think it's the best investment I ever done on my divorce journey. And so let's talk about that, why you should have a lawyer on board. I'm not I'm not selling lawyers. That's not the reason why I post this and talk about this. But I know that when you I've been there myself, and I have a lot of clients actually who don't work with lawyers. But what I know to be true is that um, if you exit or escape from a toxic or a relationship that doesn't serve you, maybe, and if you have kids, and maybe there are some friction, and it'd be nice to not deal with those friction points yourself. And those friction points is a really friction when you divorce or break free or decouple, then you probably have some disputes or discussions about the kids and the house and the financials. There's a lot of conversation of friction around how to split money. And I would just say, get a lawyer on board. So, how I got into working with a lawyer was I had no idea was coming up, what my ex was working on, the court cases that he was about to open. I had absolutely no idea. But what I know to be true is that I had a voice, and my inner voice telling me, Camilla, get a lawyer. My body is responding right now. Camilla, get a lawyer on your team now. I've never been in this situation. And I don't know what lawyer. So I just called the lawyer in the town I lived in at that point in time. Yeah, they were selling properties. But see that when you're in the middle of it, you have no idea what to do. But I rang, and I had some very good conversations, and I was circled to a kind of refugee center, and there I realized that I needed a lawyer whose specialty was in family law. So that's the five things, right? Who do you need on your team? I needed a lawyer who was an expert in family law. I also knew I was up against someone. I was up against my ex, who was very good at manipulating. So I wanted to work with someone who was good at navigating that space about being in court, dealing with people who are good at verbally abuse. That was the situation. So that was a very important criteria for me to work with someone who had expertise in this area. And so I started scouting. I started Googling. I'm based in Denmark. So I started Googling lawyers on Google. And when I found a few lawyers, and what I did then in my scouting process, that's step two, your scouting process, I actually Googled them on LinkedIn. I Googled them. Now I took my corporate hat on. How we get the best resources on your team. I I followed them. I didn't follow them, but I watched out and I looked and I read up and I have what books have they written? What type of conversation have they entered in the different public spaces? I did a lot of research in a very condensed time frame container time container time container. I really was very focused on this scouting. And then what I did then I found one person. It was and I couldn't get hold of her because it was just before Christmas. And what happened in my scouting process, I the first court file came in, and I sat there and said, "All right, now I need a lawyer. I need." That was the reason why I had this very strong inner voice. Camilla, get a lawyer on your team, and so I did. So because it was up to Christmas, and she had a Christmas break, I googled her and I've looked up on LinkedIn, and I luckily noticed that I had a friend of mine who knew her, and I was so lucky. And if I didn't know, I would contact someone else who could give me some referrals. So talk to this wonderful woman. I first I dropped her a note on LinkedIn, and I said, "Hey, it's been about 30 years or more since we last connected, but now this is my situation, and I need help, and I need help now. And I see you connected with her. Could we jump on a call?" And she was so sweet. She was so sweet. We jumped on a call on a Sunday evening, and I asked her, "How is she? What do you know about this? Is she?" And I explained my situation. So, is she the right match for me? And she gave me what I needed the most. It gave me peace. Um, and so I said, "All right, I'm calming down, because this is a person, this is a lawyer I want to work with." And the next thing I did was then I contacted the law firm. I knew I was up against there was already now a court case rolling, and it was not in my favor. And it was not in the favor. It's not about my favor. It was not in the favor of our daughter. So I knew I needed something more to calm me down. That was so I went into the due diligence. I contacted the law firm and I said, this lawyer, does she have time to help me? I need help, and I need help now, like after Christmas. And she said, yes, she has space for a new client. Wonderful. I asked for the price points, investment points, and I told what the hourly price was, or investment point. And here I did something that I had very few people that I've spoken to in laser coaching intensives, or now their clients. I did something that not so many people there do, but it did set me up for success. I told myself, because I knew it was important, I'd rather prefer and decide to invest in a lawyer that can help us get a better life, and when I say us, my daughter and myself, than going on holiday for 2 years or whatever. And I will get the money. That's about who do you want to work with? Do you don't have the money? But if you have a need, you find the money. And I found the money, and it's not like just one pot, right? It's it's a long term investment, and there's a lot of money up front. You have to invest in yourself to get the support that you need. But that was my commitment to myself, to invest in the right lawyer that I felt was right, understood my situation, our situation, and could help me uh, create a better life for myself, but most importantly for my daughter. Um, and so I did. I committed to that. I called my bank. I called my mom and dad. I said, "This is what I need." And sometimes, yes, I came to my parents and said, "I need $20,000 more for my lawyer. Help me." That's what I did. And also, that's what my clients do, whether it's working with me, because if they don't have money, or if it's with clients or with psychologists, I really took that very conscious decision to invest in myself. This is my project. It's not the lawyer's project. It's not the psychologist's project. It's my project. It's my life. It's my daughter's life. So that's what I did. And so once and I also reached out to, in this process, I reached out to my lawyer's line manager to make sure, is this the right lawyer I get to work with? And do I have peace in a peace, so I can also go on Christmas break knowing that I'm going to work with the best lawyer ever. And I just had at one point say, Camilla, let go. You found the best lawyer you can ever imagine and want on your team. And I would say my due diligence, my commitment to invest in myself, and that by working with a lawyer and doing my scouting process, reading up on what she's done, what books she has written, where she's made a difference, or how she has created change in her space, professional space. It has only helped me heal even faster. And that's why it's so important for you to get a lawyer on board now, because it takes some time to get the right lawyer on board. And even though I'm talking about lawyers, I can still use ways to safeguard my career, because what it does right now, and been working together for more than a year, is that whenever something comes up, I will simply forward the email to my lawyer. She is part of my team. I run a we could say coaching practice, and also run a divorce project. And I manage team members, and I have some team members on one project and team members on another project. That's how I see it. And it's so nice, just because I know I have the best resources on board. I simply just send, okay, this is a note from my ex. I no longer want to be enter friction points, and no longer want to argue. Help me, guide me what to write. And she comes back, and she just is a creative mind behind our relationship here, a professional relationship. She comes back, and that is the power of working with a lawyer, because what it helps you is that, for example, you can safeguard your career. You can focus on what you're best at. You don't have to think about all the legal things. You don't have to think about, or again, create and entertain more fears and more worries, because you know you have the best lawyer on your team. And the reason why I bring this up is that there are so many people, unfortunately, who don't invest in themselves, including working with a coach, including working with therapists, including working with lawyers. You cannot go through a we can, but I will promise you that if you get the right people on board, you will fast track your divorce process. You will learn how to redefine your divorce process, and you will safeguard your career, and you will just take your career to the next level. Because why? It's because you have outsourced what you don't master to those who are who has the expertise in the fields or the areas that you don't. Right? That is as simple as that. So if you haven't yet got a lawyer on your team, start doing your scouting now. Start doing your due diligence now. Start in getting referrals. really, really do that homework and commit to that piece, as well as commit to the investment point. Yes, you say, Camilla, it's expensive, but what is money? Money is energy. And can you put a price tag on your life? Unfortunately, I heard so many people say it's too expensive. Is your life just one penny worth? It's not. You can't put a price tag on your life. You're amazing. You're loved. And you have children, or if you don't have children, your family needs you, right? You get to invest in yourself. And the way you invest in yourself is to work with the right people so that to help you create a better life. And it is true before, during, and after divorce, where you are on your divorce journey. It's so important. And that's the reason why I decided to talk about investing in lawyers today, or a lawyer, um, to really just outsort what's really or some of these burning questions, or yeah, which you can't answer because you don't have the legal insights. So with this wraps up to the take us to the end of today's episode. Remember that happiness is real. And I was saying thank you so much, and I'm so honored to share this moment with you, to talk about how you can set yourself up for success wherever you are on your divorce journey. And if you found value in this, please take a moment and drop me a note, as well as take a screenshot and share this episode on your favorite social platforms with your friends and loved ones, to help them thrive through major life transition as divorce. And remember, as I said, happiness is real wherever you are on your divorce journey. And there is light at the end of the tunnel. And as I said many times before, that tunnel doesn't have to be that long if you know how to deal with your divorce. And that is about getting the right tools, get your tools belt up to date, tools, your strategy, and the resources. Because then you can truly create your best life, and you don't have to wait that long to experience an even better life, even if you're going through a divorce right now. And it is indeed my honor to be on the journey with you and help you, support you through the journey. So this wraps up today's episode. If you if you have any questions, reach out to me. Remember to book a later coaching intensive if you want to have some real strategies and tools. It's a 2-hour session, and we go deep dive to help you whatever your is really whatever you are worried about right now, or you want to have a different pair of eyes, a new pair of eyes. I'm here to support you. And remember to tune in daily for inspiration and practical advice to help you create a better and more abundant future on the other side of support. And we'll see, not even on the other side of support, also during the support process, or as you're going through it. So with this, enjoy this amazing Wednesday. You are amazing. And I'm happy that we connected. Bye for now.